Hi, Kelowna. This is Alexa with KelownaNow, and I'm thrilled to be sitting down with a special guest. She's special for me in a few ways. We've worked closely. She actually used to work for KelownaNow and Check Creative, and then we've let her go, which sucks for us, but we are thrilled to watch her start her new business. And I haven't personally got to go, but we're going to learn more about Cassie Clarke's Pilates studio. So can you tell us a little bit about your dream and why did you open a Pilates studio?
Yeah, it started actually when I moved to Australia back in 2018. Pilates was like a very foreign type of movement for me before I left. We didn't really have any here. Yeah. I was like rehab and injured people. It's like that's basically what I thought. And then I went to Australia and they have it on every corner. Everyone's doing it, young and old, and it has such a good fitness culture over there. And then I tried it for the first time and I was like, oh my gosh, this is not my grandma's Pilates. This is intense. It was hard. It was humbling, and I was obsessed straight away. And then COVID hit when I was there, and I was doing it as a hobby. And then I was in Vents at the time, and they were basically obsolete. So I had to pivot, and I was like, Pilates. Yeah. You know, they get paid well. Yeah. I can move and teach at the same time. It's fantastic. So I went and did my certification, and then ended up moving back to Kelowna, and was like, crap, there's nothing here. No. So, yeah. And then I was like, I'll just open up my own studio.
Yeah. But you've been doing it out of your house. Like, you've been doing private lessons.
Yeah.
What point do you think, like, not that long ago, because you did this opening of your new space in like 10 months, but what side of you was like, hey, I don't want to just do private lessons. Like, I want to start a business, be an entrepreneur.
Totally. I love the privates. They're great, but I have a lot of energy when I teach. So I'm like, I can't do that in a private. It scares people away. So it's like the group classes is where I thrive. And I just love the community around fitness in Kelowna. I think Pace has done a really good job. Rec has done a really good job. And I wanted to kind of bring that into the Pilates because I haven't seen that in Pilates yet. And I just love being around people. Like it's such a good vibe in there. And it's just so much about community and making friendships. So, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. So for those that don't know, it is called Sunny Space.
Yes.
Why did we call it Sunny Space?
Because it is happiness in a place. It's just... it resonated with me so much. Yeah. And I find that Pilates is a very, like I said, at least in Canada, very rehab oriented, and people haven't really discovered the fun side of Pilates yet. I think bigger cities, Toronto, Vancouver, are seeing it a little. Yeah. But just something that was different from everything else. And I wanted it to be fun and happy, and I wanted it to be a place where people would come and look forward to coming and feel like they were on vacation every time they stepped in there. And it's lots of natural light too, so there's lots of sun that comes through the studio.
Yes, and the colors are bright and fun.
Yes, yeah, very fun.
Yeah, and I love the little lemons. Yes. You're kind of bringing that Australian, Italian.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything, a little bit of like a hot Greek summer.
Yeah. Amazing. While you're working out, looking good.
Exactly.
Okay, so for people that don't know, I know you have a bunch of different classes. Can you talk about some of the classes you're offering?
Yep. So we have like a traditional Pilates class, which is our Sunny Original. That's where you move the spine in all the directions. It's pretty well known around the Pilates community. That's kind of what your traditional Pilates class is. And then we've brought the strength component into our classes too. The one thing I noticed that was missing in Pilates is strength training, which when done with Pilates is a really, really beneficial thing. So we've got our traditional strength classes, we've got our upper body and our lower body strength classes. And then we have our lunchtime classes too, which is fun. They're shorter and they burn. You got your booty one and then you got your abs one, which is always fun. And then you have a sweat class as well. So it's a more cardio based to get your heart rate up. And a TLC class, so like a tender loving care, stretching. Yeah, it's good.
More like a yin yoga side to Pilates.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you use the reformer to get the stretching.
Yeah. What's your favorite class?
I like the glutes and legs strength. It's hard, it's sweaty, but it's so much fun.
So how long do you think, so let's say Alexa joins Pilates classes, would you recommend starting off going twice a week, 3 times a week for someone that doesn't do Pilates, or can you get yourself going if you're athletic? Or what would you say is like, I mean, everyone's a little bit different, but how many times do you think you should be doing Pilates?
I would say at least 2 times.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people who come in who are currently doing like fitness or strength training at a gym.
Yeah.
So they'll pair Pilates with that because it benefits you in the gym as well. It makes you lift heavier. Your form is better. Your core is more engaged. So it translates to a lot of benefits in other fitness regimes. So I would say 2 times if you're incorporating it with another form of exercise, or if you were doing solely Pilates, I'd say 3 to 4 times a week. Of course, you could go 6 or 7 if you wanted to, but I think the minimum would be 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
And guys are doing Pilates.
Yes.
More guys are doing Pilates.
So awesome. We have a guy.
When you think of Pilates, you kind of think, did you say your grandma in front of the TV on a mat?
It's come a long way since then. I'm not sure if you've seen all like the TikTok videos and like the Instagram videos of like NFL teams and soccer teams doing Pilates. It's entertaining, but it is so nice to see men in the area because they bring such a good eye on those things, and they just bring such a different perspective on how to incorporate other forms of training into Pilates.
Well, it's a hard class too. Like it's not like, oh well, it's just for women because you know we're the weaker.
No. I remember the first time I did Pilates with my fiance, and he was shaking like a leaf, and he goes to the gym. Yeah. And I'm like, this is the best ever. Humbling. Yeah. It's so humbling. They just think it's yoga or stretching, and it's definitely not that.
But Pilates is really good for kind of getting to those muscles that you're like, oh, I didn't know I had that muscle over there. Yeah. Or I should be working out that muscle. Didn't know that. Yeah. You feel that burn.
You feel that burn, and it points out your weaknesses. So when you come and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so weak here, and I also am really uneven. Yeah. You notice those things in Pilates. So it's good because then you can work on those things. But it gives you a new perspective on what's wrong with you, which is, it's funny. Yeah.
But you're still offering, if let's say you wanted to have private classes, you guys are still offering that private classes.
Yeah, we do. We don't have a private room per se, but we do have outside of class hours. You can book in with just one person. You can book in with a friend. You also do group bookings for like team bonding activities and super fun. Get your boss on the reformer.
Yeah, me and Nikki check. I heard she's not great on it.
No, she's not. She wanted to lay down the entire time. But hey, it's okay.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
You do have to start somewhere. Yeah.
Don't be so hard on yourself. I know. No, I remember I haven't been on a reformer in a long, long time, but I remember I had an injury and my brother was a pro wakeboarder, and we actually did a private classes together, and it was on the reformer and it was with a personal trainer. And, you know, he's trying to work out certain things. He's a guy trying to get more flexible, and it'd be fun to do it with him because he's like a wakeboarding athlete. And then I was coming from a gymnast, but I had a really bad injury and I was trying to reteach myself, and yeah, it was amazing.
It's so fun.
It's so fun. It's so good. Okay, I know you're offering still some amazing deals. So how long are you offering that, or you still don't know? Or
it'll be indefinite. So the intro offer is 2 weeks unlimited Pilates for $89. So if you really take advantage of it, it goes down to like $4 a class, which is amazing. And that's for every new client. So anyone who's new or just wants to give it a try, it's a good way to try all the classes and see if you really like it. And then you can decide on a membership or a class pack after that.
Amazing. Yeah. So, okay, you've only been up and running technically for like a month.
Yeah. Feels like it's been a year. But
well, it has.
Yeah, it's been a year planning.
But what do you see, like, let's say we sit down together in a year. What do you have already more dreams and goals and things you like? Do you want to plan events? Do you want to, like, what do you see the space? Do you think you're going to open in West Side? Have you even thought that far?
Yes, we have actually. Our ideal situation, well, probably not in a year. We want to give it at least maybe 3 years before we start thinking about a second location. We've kind of sussed out a few spots, but I won't say too much because I don't know for sure. But yeah, second location would be amazing. More community events. I'd love to partner with a local charity of some kind.
Kelowna Santas?
Yeah. You said it online, now we have to go with it.
It may be August 1st, but I'm already planning.
So good at planning. And then community events. We want to do some like fun events for the members inside the studio, do some fun yoga events later, incorporate other forms of fitness, partnering with some personal trainers, some other yoga people, and maybe doing like retreats or workshops, just getting more involved with the community.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that like workout classes, spin classes, you know, you kind of attract a certain like type of person. Would you say that Pilates can be cliquey, or like you're kind of trying to make sure anyone can come, all ages? It's not just 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds working out. Like
totally. Pilates can be very cliquey, and that's something that I've noticed too. And it's can be very mean girls as well, I find. And not everywhere. I feel like that's kind of a rarity now, but just that's what people think. So when they think Pilates, they think, oh, it's super intimidating. For one, you're learning a very new machine, so that's scary. It looks like a military torture machine as well, so that doesn't help. But we really want to try to make people feel comfortable and seen. So the number one thing that when somebody new walks into that building, we are introducing ourselves. We are asking about their history. We want to know everything about you, how you heard of us, what are your goals, but not over salesy either, because I don't like that aspect of it too. So just making them feel really comfortable and seen, and kind of discussing any sort of questions that they had before they even start. So it puts a really good taste in their mouth, but they're also like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. And I think too, you know, bringing in more demographics. We do have that really young demographic, which is I don't think it's been tapped into yet here. So we are seeing a lot of young people who have never done Pilates before. It just hasn't spoken to them. It hasn't been the right time. But
I think it's because when you think of Pilates, like we go back to your grandma.
Totally.
We think of old women.
100%. So it's funny, my mom's been doing Pilates for a really long time, and she's in there, and she's probably an advanced member, and she is just smoking everybody, and I mean, everyone's like, oh my gosh, who's this old woman who's on the reformer? It's great, but you know, it makes you motivated. You're like, if she can do it, I can do it. You know, so it's nice to have that.
You can build up to it. You might not be her in your first class.
Totally, but it is so nice to have all of the new people trying it.
Do you think you're going to offer like eventually like harder classes, like intermediate class, or I don't know if you're going to call it senior class, because that's probably going to age people, but like
I don't know if anyone would sign up for that one.
Different levels, I guess.
Totally. Right now, we did have them on the schedule when we started. Nobody booked into them because everyone's super intimidated. Everyone's still new, and our beginner classes aren't like your traditional easy beginner class. They are still hard. So I think we are going to keep those for a while, and then start to integrate a little bit more in like advanced and intermediate moves into those classes. And then once we feel comfortable, and then being like, hey, I think you would be really good in an intermediate class. Just getting their confidence up first, because nobody's going to sign up for an intermediate class when they're like, I don't even know what an original is.
You're like, what did Cassie say? Which arm am I supposed to move?
It's like, now levitate on your reformer. They're like, what?
Well, I think that's what people have to understand too. You're going to go to this class and you're going to like, you're using your legs and your arms, and you have to use your brain.
It's a lot of coordination and brain
that
work.
just right there can throw you off.
Totally.
So it's okay to be, you know.
Totally. Yeah.
You're not fully on the beat or whatever.
And like the one thing that we've like reiterated to our instructors is that we want humility in the studio, because I will mess up my words, or I'll say left instead of right, and I'll be like, oof, okay, don't listen to me, I don't know what I'm talking about. But it loosens the atmosphere a little bit, and it becomes a little bit more human, right? So you just make fun of yourself, we all make mistakes, and just bring it back down to earth a little bit.
Amazing. All right, anything else?
No, I feel like I could talk for so long now, but yes.
Okay, well, I think if you're looking for, you know, you're tired of your normal workout routine, or you just want to try a Pilates class, you're offering that perfect, even 2 weeks offering that you can try it, go a couple times. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you fall in love with it. Maybe you want to bring a friend. It's like, you know, a girl's day, guy's day, date night.
Whatever. Bring your boyfriend, bring your dad. We want everyone there.
So go check out, where is your studio?
Studio is on Brosey Road, so right down from the Big White office. It's 1820, number 201. So you can see the sign from the highway. It's right behind Jiffy Lube.
And parking?
Parking is great. You have 2-hour parking along Ambrosie, and then you have a parking lot in front of M&M Meats that's not restricted, so you can park there if you can't find parking. Yeah.
Great, because that's the worst when you're sweating and
I
stressing.
and then you're sweating before you even get to class because you're running
late. And then
late.
you don't go.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, well, awesome. We'll have you back in maybe a couple of months and check in how you're doing.
For sure.
Maybe we'll do a TikTok reel of the KelownaNow team down there.
Gotta get Jim on the reformer.
Jim and the whole team on the reformer.
Yeah. I think that would get a lot of views.
I do think so.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in to Kelowna Now.